And welcome back to Bitcoin Advisors channel. My name is Chris, bringing it to you from Westlake Village, California. And let's jump right into some Bitcoin price action. First things first, I'll start out on the higher term time frame, starting with the 4-day, which is the first one to give it away. That likely we are going to come down to at least 25.5 by ticking below the prior candle low right here. Second one up, 5-day time frame, doing the same thing. Target's a little bit lower, 25.1, and the weekly time frame even lower at about 24.8. Overall, I do believe if we start to have this move to the downside, that it probably is a little bit greater and heads all the way back down to the 0.5 to the 618, coming in this region right here. It does look like the higher low formation, though, higher highs and higher low on the weekly time frame is kind of set in there, unless we have any additional major economic catastrophes. The next bank on the chopping block, I hear, is Deutsche Bank. So this is kind of giving the bears the bias right now. I would say today is the day. If the bulls are going to pull it out, they need to close back above 28,500 to see momentum cross to the downside. Additionally, if we see these lines cross here on the PMARP, the moving average and the PMARP, if that crosses from this high level as volatility is declining, generally we are looking to get a reset in momentum. Additionally, you can see the bulls are getting kicked out of the bullish control zone on the daily time frame, so also goosing the favor in the odds of the bears right now for a short-term pullback. And what does TED Talks Macro have to say? Kind of giving some of the bullish and bearish news. So MicroStrategy acquired $150 million worth of Bitcoin. I think that was yesterday. We've had the largest capital inflows since July of 2022. Binance is being sued by the U.S. government. That's been all over the news. And U.S. PC inflation data this week to determine the trend. So again, the Fed's goal is to fight inflation and keep maximum employment. So what does that look like? Well, right now, the rate hike indicator is going to be right here. And we'll see what kind of rate hike the market is forecasting at the moment. So now there is a 50%, 52% chance of another 0.25% rate hike coming in at the next Fed meeting for 3rd of May. So it looks like we're a whiles out. This can change a lot between now and then. Don't quote me on that date. I will on that date. I'll have to confirm that at a later date. And lastly, Kobisi later. Notable finds here. Lawsuit in crypto this year, 2020. So the lawsuits include, they're suing Coinbase, they're suing Binance. We got Silvergate. Nexo was fined $45 million. Terraforms, Genesis, Kraken, $30 million fine, and 20 plus celebrities all fined. So this is just the beginning of the year here. And that was about all the news I could find for you guys today. What else do I want to take a look at? The dollar. Looks like it is putting in a bounce sooner than later. On the hourly time frame, though, still getting pushed back with lower highs and lower lows. Where do I expect that bounce to come in? Well, perhaps to fill this gap. Coming in at 102 to 180. I would say that if the dollar does start to put in a bounce, that's not going to be good for risk-on assets. You can see the NASDAQ is already pulling back today. If we do see a closure below the 9 exponential, next target down is going to be 12,540. S&P looking a little bit stronger, but still getting rejected at the green 55. That does look like a pretty good sell at the moment on the daily time frame. And what about Dow Jones? Same thing. Still grinding alongside this trend line, the topside trend line. And if we do start to lose that level, yeah, I do think we're going to come down much, much further. So that's Bitcoin. The Ethereum Bitcoin putting in a bit of a bounce here, getting a try, and it does look like this one does want to go for more. So perhaps Ethereum starts to wake up from being the sleepy giant it has been. Another one I did want to note was XRP. Looks like it's going to be putting in a pretty good sell here after a big consolidation. We are hitting the 1618 fib. And here's how I would be looking to kind of short this position. Also, you can see volatility is max out and the PMARP is way, way up here. So essentially, as this comes down, you typically see those downside moves play out. And essentially, any kind of a closure above here on the daily time frame, I would look to get out of the short, and a wick above here at 55 cents, and I would call it quits as well. So does look like a pretty good short position, and I will post that in the Discord. The link is in the description below. And I wanted to check in on gold and silver as well. So starting it off with silver, silver does look like a little bit more on the buying opportunity side. However, we are getting, pretty high up there and momentum is beginning to decline. So maybe a short-term pullback first. Anywhere, as long as we're closing above 22 bucks, I think this one's going to move onwards and upwards. For silver, looking for a run back to the top side of the range. As we did hit the first target, we broke above it. Now finding it as support, and probably next stop is around 24 bucks. And gold doing the same thing here on the daily time frame. We've got a little bit of bearish divergence, first drive. As long as gold can pick itself up here in the midst of the banking crisis and the dollar continues to move down, I would say the odds are in favor of gold, at least heading up to the range highs at about $2,000 an ounce. $2,075 an ounce. And really any kind of a tick above there is going to extend that target. That $2,300 gold is definitely in the cards here. But again, momentum is beginning to decline, and it looks like we are putting in a sell for gold right now. So it does look like this move is probably going to get faded, and we probably test some downside, see if we can make a real higher low. But any kind of a closure back below 1940 on the daily very likely sends us down to the 0.5, which is going to be coming in at about $1,900. So I think the chances of us reaching the 0.5 are more in favor than an upside breakout right now. So that's all I got for today, guys. Hope you guys have a blessed and highly favored day. I'll be checking back in with you again on Bitcoin's price action. We're looking for the higher low on the daily time frame. Again, it is going to take some patience here as Bitcoin is trying to hang on to the range lows here, and essentially today is where the bulls would have to do it. Would have to, make a strong push higher for momentum to get flipped back up to the upside. As soon as we, get below this line on the stochastic, generally speaking, that is where, you're going to see those nice downside moves on the daily time frame. And volatility, if it just begins to reset, I'd say a pretty good move to the tune of 20% is going to be ready to be enforced. So again, that's all I have for you guys today. I'll leave it off with Bitcoin dominance. Does look like it is coming down. So giving some altcoins the room to breathe a little bit here today. But again, these are going to do whatever Bitcoin does, but more. Also seeing on the Tether chart, does seem to be forming a bit of a double bottom with hidden bullish divergence coming all the way back from this pivot right here. Probably gets a run back to the high. So when Tether dominance goes up, typically what are people doing? They're selling their altcoins to buy some Tether coins. All right. That's it for today, guys. Have a blessed day. Take care.